Hey, what's up, guys? So, this is our first movie review video. We're deciding to try this out. Hopefully, build some subscribers with it. You'll notice we're going to be putting out a lot of new types of content. So, this is our movie review on our shitty desk for Captain America Civil War. Alright, you know me, I'm Tony Calkins, and this is...
Michael Calkins.
And this is...
Hi, I'm Joe O'Leary.
You might recognize him from some of the other videos. He played Chief O'Hara in our Batman parody.
I love you, boys. I love you like a boy loves his mama.
Which I'll give a shout out to the end. But more importantly, the movie we're here to talk about is Captain America Civil War. Let's start with just some overall thoughts of this film. You want to take it?
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, the movie this has been compared to the most is Batman vs Superman, and I feel like I'm in the minority because I did not think Batman vs Superman was a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's currently sitting at a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I know how the Rotten Tomatoes, ranking system works. How it's a simple yes or no. Is this a good movie? But still, like a 27%. That's not a 27% movie. Jack and Jill is a 27% movie. Batman vs Superman is not. And I've seen Jack and Jill. And Batman vs Superman. I can tell you, one is clearly the worst movie. Batman vs Superman, in my opinion, is a 60-65% movie. It's flawed, but there's a lot of things that work well. Captain America Civil War, I want to say, was originally, for a couple of days, was a 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. It is a great movie because while there are problems with it, those problems don't bring it down, whereas Batman vs. Superman is brought down by the many problems that movie had going for it.
So my overview of the entire thing was kind of... I liked it. I thought it was, in comparison, I guess if we're going to do that, I thought it was way better than Batman v Superman. Opinion-wise, I thought the way they had all the superheroes in this movie and no one was overlapping anyone else. I didn't feel like anyone in this film was given the shorthand or the short end of the stick. I thought that everyone was represented quite fine, actually. I love Spider-Man. Best Spider-Man I think we've ever seen on screen.
Yep.
Aunt May.
Yes, Aunt May was uncomfortably hot. But, yeah.
Rosemary Harris is still, the many nights I've spent. Never mind.
But yeah, I liked how it all came together, and I really liked how, even though it was Civil War, it was still, for the most part, a Captain America movie.
And a better Avengers movie than Age of Ultron.
I think that a lot of it, they pushed a lot of Age of Ultron into it, like you were saying earlier before. It was a Marvel film. I had fun. They got the point across. It was a fun movie.
Absolutely. So, I don't think anybody can argue that it wasn't a fun movie. There's no way you could sit there and not enjoy yourself unless you were maybe Zack Snyder. But so Mike, you've seen it 3 times. Tony,
yes.
You've seen it twice. I've seen it once. So I think that kind of says something on its own right there. We all have our different views of it. I didn't see it once because I thought it was bad. I saw it once because that's all I thought I needed to see. I saw it once and I was like, okay, that was a great movie.
I'm just usually a person who goes to see movies twice anyway, but
I don't know how to budget money.
Okay, let's dive deep into this conversation.
In the movie, Marvel has done this, going back to the Avengers and before, New York, Sokovia, all of these instances where the Avengers have acted and innocent people have been killed in the process.
Which I think they did that pretty well.
I think it was done well the first and second time. The first time is when Tony Stark meets that woman in the hallway, whose son was killed, and that was really powerful because I didn't see that coming at all.
Well done, yeah.
And I also think it was done well in that boardroom kind of scene with the guy from the Incredible Hulk. I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I think that scene. That was the second time it needed to be said.
I'm gonna pause real quick. Why the hell did we need to tie back in that the Incredible Hulk? Why? I mean, good for him. Good. He's got another acting job, I guess. Colonel Ross, I think the character's name, or Commander, whatever the fuck. Who gives a shit?
Well, some people.
Why wasn't
call you a
Edward
hero.
Norton in this movie? I mean, if they're gonna bring back, random extra from the movie, why was the Hulk not brought? Anyway, but I think those two instances, the woman in the hallway and that boardroom scene, were the only times this Avengers killing innocent people thing needed to be mentioned. There were other ways they could have shown the differences between Captain America and Iron Man than doing that same thing. But the problem is that keeps going on for the rest of the movie. They keep hitting that nail on the head 9,000 times. By the time we get to Baron Zemo at the end, I'm like, sorry, spoilers. So stop. But by the time you get to Baron Zemo at the end,
Totally.
bear with me. By the time you get to Baron Zemo here at the end, and you're like, oh crap, he's got all these other Winter Soldiers. What's going to happen here? What's going to happen? And then it was the biggest blue balls of all time because it's just revealed. Oh no, he's just another part of this plot of the Avengers have killed innocent people, including his family.
I think
that was such
I think that was
stupid.
yeah.
cheap
Okay. I am going to just say that I am happy they did not go with the whole "there's more Winter Soldiers" thing.
No, believe me, I think that's stupid
would've been
too.
stupid.
But I thought this was just as lazy. It's it's almost as if they thought, okay, we've created this villain. How do we make him a villain? The same thing we've done the entire movie. I don't know. To me, that was so lazy.
It was very Lex Luthor.
It wasn't
not
quite as bad. It wasn't quite as bad.
But
as
when you think
Jesse
about
Eisenberg.
it, they could have come to this conclusion themselves.
Without this little shit going around
Exactly.
doing anything.
Not to mention the fact that his whole motive had been mentioned 5 or 6 times previously in the movie by different people. At that point, I didn't care about his
By
family.
the time you hit that airport fight, you just totally forget about the guy.
Yeah, and that too. I mean, that airport scene, while it's great, let's be honest, that was thrown in the movie. That scene could have been anywhere in the movie. It didn't.
Well, they had to milk it.
I'm sorry.
I
That
love
scene
that.
is the
It had
best
to-
part of the
It's
movie.
the best
You
part of
gotta
the
milk
movie.
that
It's the
part,
best
okay?
part of the movie. But I mean, in terms of storytelling or whatever, that scene is so good. It could have been anywhere. That's what I'm not saying it was so bad. It could have been anywhere. It's so good. It could have been
I think it
anywhere.
was placed perfectly.
Yeah.
But then to go to the ending part with Baron Zemo, and it's revealed that this guy has been here the entire movie, and you're like, oh crap, what is he thinking? Why does he want to do this? And it's literally just the same thing you saw at the beginning of the movie. I mean, to me, I could talk about this all day. To me, that was so cheap.
I could
and
agree
it was
with-
so lazy.
The fact that the villain in this movie was a waste. It was
Yes.
very pointless. No one really
Although,
cared about the villain.
I'm gonna say the one scene with Zemo that kind of touched me
Black
was
Panther.
when you hear the first time you hear him on the phone, you think his wife he's a shithead who his wife's at home with the kids. You find out they died, and the whole Black Panther scene I thought was pretty powerful. I just didn't think Zemo needed to be the one to have Tony Stark figure out that Bucky had killed his parents. I think if Tony had just figured that out by himself, I think it would have been fine. It would have come to the same thing. Because I kind of liked the idea of there is no necessary antagonist. I kind of liked the fact that you go into this movie, you pick your own protagonist, you pick your own antagonist.
And I'm gonna say right off the bat, there are a lot of people that watched every trailer 9,000 times going into this movie. I saw every trailer probably once.
Right.
I did not watch them a bunch of times just because there's a huge saturation of Marvel films currently in movie theaters. Not that I wasn't excited about this, but I know what I've come to know what to expect in a Marvel movie, and I did not need to needlessly pander about this for days on end about who's who. So I didn't even realize Baron Zemo was in this movie until they say his name in the movie, and I'm like, why is he in here?
Well, yeah, I don't
He's
think
just
he wasn't
in it.
placed in the trailer.
He's just in
They were
it to
focusing-
have some sort of a villain. Let's move on from that fact. Okay, what did we think of the whole Captain America, more of a Captain America 3 movie instead of what should have been Avengers 2? So what did we think about it, the Captain America plot? What were our views on that with the characters and continuing forward? I can say I'm happy that we're done with the Hydra crap.
Yeah.
That was getting
Yeah,
old.
that was getting pretty old.
Inconvenient, getting very convenient.
It was.
It was everywhere.
The Hydra stuff was getting old, and I really liked the relationship between Bucky and Steve Rogers, because Steve kind of had this thing where he was like, I can't, even though he knows like this, like he's doing this Bucky Barnes guy, he's doing wrong. He still gotta hold on to him because like it's his one person left from his past, and after Agent Carter dies in the beginning, literally it's Bucky Barnes. Kind of made you understand why Captain America was willing to be let's be honest. Captain America was a fucking dickhole throughout this entire movie to save this asshat. But it made you felt for the guy. You understood why. And I like the relationship between that, and Falcon was cool.
Oh, so that's another point.
Okay,
and hang on. Let me just preface this. Really quick bit on the Falcon here. People are going to say, "Oh, you don't like him because he's black." Let me just say, Black Panther is an awesome character. War Machine is an awesome character. Falcon is the laziest fucking character in this franchise.
I like the Falcon.
I don't know,
Captain America.
Wait.
Falcon. He's Captain America's running buddy, so he gets to join the Avengers. That's worse than Hawkeye. He's literally worse than Hawkeye.
I could give it.
I like Hawkeye.
I
root for the underdog.
Wait, I like
Hawkeye now.
I liked Hawkeye. I liked
Hawkeye
in this film. He comes in like fucking. Excuse my language. I'm coming into this group right now. Okay, I was retired, but you know what? You guys are being really stupid. I'm gonna shoot my arrows at Vision, even though I could totally get my ass kicked. I liked Hawkeye in this movie.
Hawkeye, I have no. I was only saying it like we all know in the original Avengers, Hawkeye was kind of the odd man out. Because why is he here?
He was there because he cameoed in Thor. Now let's get back to the focus here. What did we think of the Captain America plot?
I thought the Captain America movies have been kind of a mixed bag. First Avenger has its own flavor. Winter Soldier has its own flavor. This movie has its own flavor. That's different than like the Iron Man movies, where like you kind of know what you're getting into. Yeah. Hulk, we're not going to go down that path. Or Thor. I mean, perfectly honest, if you're a Thor fan, congratulations. Those movies suck. But as for Captain America, I think this movie fits perfectly in the Captain America franchise because it's its own kind of thing. It's its own kind of story. It's very Avengers-like, yeah. But I feel like that's its spin on the Captain America thing.
Yeah.
You know, Winter Soldier is like it's like a Cold War.
And now it's just getting unavoidable. I mean, how many movies are they in? The question in Phase 2 in all those movies was, well, where the fuck are the Avengers?
And this movie answers it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy that they're actually appearing. Mike, what did you think?
Well, I mean, gotta be honest, I never saw the first Captain America. So as
not missing a whole lot.
3 films, I can't compare all of them. I think that, I mean, I love Bucky. That character is like, I don't know, I really like Bucky. So I think like the story with Captain America, you know, fighting for his friends, stuff like that, I like that. I was Team Captain America during the film, just because, I don't know, Iron Man's not my thing. But I still like Winter Soldier better.
Okay. Your 3 main standouts and your 3 negatives. If you had to just sum it up real quick.
Mike?
Too much,
Okay, so this is, I'm assuming, your negatives?
These are my negatives.
You want to explain?
Alright, here we go. I think too much stuff to Avengers Age of Ultron, and they tried to push Age of Ultron into it a little, I feel. But the problem I have with that, too, is Scarlet Witch had an issue with the whole, bombing thing, and when, they're going over all the wreckage they did, they go to Sokovia, and, like, you think she'd get emotional for her brother's death with that thing, but I don't know, you just don't feel like her brother died in this film. She kind of just...
That's a good point.
I
don't think they even mentioned it.
I think that was
I didn't even think about that.
I thought that was kind of lame.
Yeah, that's lame.
What else do I think's lame? I mean, we pretty much went over everything that I thought was pretty bad. What I liked Black Panther. I was really happy with Black Panther.
Big time.
Every scene he was in, I was jumping in my seat with joy. Spider-Man I liked, and yes, I liked it. It's not 3 things.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say let's start with the negatives. That way, I can end on a positive note. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say the 3 negatives I have with the movie. I'm gonna have to start just with the the fact that, like, at the end, I felt like they tied it too neatly in a little bow. Not as bad as Batman v Superman did. Martha! No one was named Martha in this movie. But
that we know of.
Captain America wrote Iron Man a letter, and now it's all okay. They didn't necessarily say it was A-okay with everything, but, like, I just kind of, I'm like, a letter? Like, I mean, I guess, alright. They're okay now, because the letter. The second negative I'd say I have with the movie is the Zemo thing. Unnecessary. I think they could have done without him and saved him for later.
Yeah.
Because I liked him.
Yeah.
I just didn't think he needed to be here. And honestly, the Colonel Ross thing, seriously, you could have gotten anyone else. But
really don't like Colonel Ross.
I just don't like the Incredible Hulk. I thought that they had just pushed that movie aside, and then when they announced this actor was in it, I'm like, wait, so they kept this movie in? I don't know why. No one likes Edward Norton, but as the Hulk, I mean, I'm sorry if you do. I'm sorry. Movies are opinionated. If you like Edward Norton as the Hulk, well then...
You have one movie.
Good for you. But my positives, definitely Tom Holland Spider-Man. That's probably everyone's. The airport scene, also probably everyone's.
Yeah.
But the end scene between Iron Man and Captain America was way better. And I know I'm going to keep comparing it to Batman v Superman because...
But it's natural.
It's the pretty much the basic plot, same plot points. The fight between Iron Man and Captain America was way more... I was way more emotionally attached to those characters by the end of this movie than the end of Batman v Superman. And do not try to argue with me that, well, it's because they've had a whole series to give you the characters. Yes, that's partially it, but
that's by their design. They chose to do that.
Yeah, but also, this movie did way better in setting up what their points of views were and why each person is fighting. They had never explained it in any of the other movies. We got Iron Man is for the government and Captain America isn't. And they both each get their time explaining why. They show backstories as to why they wouldn't agree with something. Batman v Superman, all we heard... I knew why Batman wanted to kill Superman. You heard Superman once say, well, being a vigilante is wrong. And then by the end of that, the real reason he's fighting Batman is because Lex Luthor's got his mommy. But that's a whole nother review. Anyway, yeah, so... The end between Iron Man and Captain America was incredible, and that shot from the cover of the comic books when Iron Man comes at Captain America, I thought was great. Joe, same things, different things. You got?
Yeah, I'm gonna do what Tony did. I'm gonna say my negatives first, so we get on a positive. Because ultimately it was a good movie.
Yeah.
My first negative. I wonder what you guys think. Did anybody else feel like Captain America and Iron Man were on the wrong sides? Like their roles were switched?
I don't
Iron
think
Man.
so.
No. I know that that's like how they tried to build it in these movies. But does anyone feel like the carefree, like kind of free-spirited, libertarian Iron Man from the first couple Iron Man movies is somewhat abandoned, and the Captain America who would have a reason to trust the government, the only reason why he's a superhero is because of the government. Like for some reason they're at. I feel like
yeah, but with Captain America, he has literally been fucked by every government.
That's true.
Agency he's worked with.
When you think Captain America, you think, oh, pro-government. I mean, Captain America. But
and I get that's how movies, they tried to do it in these movies.
They built it up, yeah.
But I feel like it could have been the other way. I mean, I feel like on a deeper level, it should have been the other way. But from the way they did it in the movies, yes, it made sense. So that's a minor criticism.
Yeah.
Criticism number 2, again, Baron Zemo, totally wasted. I thought the portrayal was excellent. And frankly, the reason why I'm angry about it is because it was wasted.
Yeah,
it was wasted in this movie. It didn't need to be in here. If they would have saved that for a later Marvel... He was a good Marvel villain, and that's kind of a rare commodity.
Yeah.
And they wasted it. They squandered it. So, I mean, a little upset about that. And then, just a third thing. I'm not really sure. Some characters in this movie, I feel like everyone in this movie was handled great. Nobody stole the show from anybody else. Everyone fit their role perfectly. Although I feel like some characters, kind of like Black Widow, I feel like she's a mainstay. She's been with us since Iron Man 2. I feel like she was kind of underutilized in some aspects in this movie.
Yeah.
She had her moments with Steve Rogers, but I feel like it was like her scenes were almost an afterthought. Like, they didn't fit naturally.
Well, Joe, that would be because she's a woman.
Well, of course, and everyone knows. Women don't make good action stars. That's not really what we think. But on the positives,
I was just kidding.
Black
What a
Panther.
great way to end a video.
Black Panther is not. We're ending on a positive. Number 1, Black Panther, purely because, in addition to him being really good.
Oh yeah, that would also have made my list. Yeah.
Purely because he blew me away. I went into this movie and I was like, he'll be an okay character. He's just whatever. He'll be okay. I mean, I don't really know anything about him.
And I'm stoked for his movie.
But after seeing this movie, I'm having a really hard time deciding whether I want to see Spider-Man: Homecoming or the Black Panther movie first. I mean,
Black Panther specifically because there's no Homecoming.
He was awesome in this movie. He was absolutely awesome. Number 2, Spider-Man. We've been there. Tom Holland, great, captured the role.
Yeah.
And number 3, I really liked the way that they kind of just formulated this story over various movies. And yes, it wasn't done as perfectly as it could have been. But it was, they took time with it. Yeah. Which Marvel really doesn't need to do. I mean, people are going to see these movies anyway. Yeah, that's right. And yet, they took their time with it, which is something we can't exactly say for Batman vs. Superman, which felt like a rush job.
Yeah, it did. It did. But we're going to probably...
took its time, and I like
We're probably going to make a Batman v Superman review sometime at some point, if I can get myself to go see that again.
You gotta sit through that movie again.
That movie too, I've only seen once.
I did not like it. But
that's
Captain America. So our thing, because we're Tony TJ7, is we're gonna each of us are gonna give our own personal scores out of 7 at the end of each review. By the way, on our next ones, we're gonna try to speed these up a bit because I know if we go and review, we're gonna review The Nice Guys. I mean, you don't want to see us sit here for 20 minutes talking about a movie that you probably don't even know. So we're trying to sell you the movie. But you've all seen Captain America. If it's a Captain America or a Star Wars or there's something big.
Everyone and their mothers.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
And we'll see it.
So, Joe, out of 7, what would you give this movie?
I'd give it a 6 out of 7.
All right, a 6 out of 7. That's a good score. It was a good movie overall.
It was a good movie, and yes, it had problems, but I mean the positives they outweighed the cons. It's not a perfect movie. This isn't the best superhero movie ever made. Stop saying that. But it's a good movie. It's a solid 6 out of 7.
Okay, you?
Yeah, I mean I saw the movie 3 times, so automatic double it. So you have to go with 6 out of 7 too.
6 out of 7.
Because I'm planning to go see it again. So yeah, 6 out of 7.
I would go. It's probably I was gonna say a 6.5, but I'll go 6. I'll go a 6. I'll go a 6 out of 7. This movie was nearly perfect for what it was trying to be. I just felt like I didn't think that ruined the movie, but I thought
I think you put it perfectly. It was perfect for what it was trying to be.
I thought this movie was great.
It's no Citizen Kane.
It's what Avengers 2 should have been. It's what Batman v Superman should have been.
Yes.
It's what a lot of movies really just should have been. It's still not my favorite. I think out of Marvel movies, between Deadpool and Winter Soldier, those are probably tied for
Winter
the top.
Soldier, and my own favorite, Spider-Man 2.
Oh, whoa, yeah, Spider-Man 2 is up there too. But that'll be its own video another time. So those are our scores. Let us know in the comments below. Team Cap, Team Iron Man. Why? I'm just gonna give a little thank you to Joe Leary. You're not on Twitter or anything, are you?
I do. I mean, if you really want to find it, I believe my Twitter is KingO'Lear77. I don't use it anymore. But if you want to follow it just for shits and giggles, by all means.
Mike, where can we find you online?
At Mr. Mike584
on Twitter.
On Twitter, Instagram, not Facebook. Don't search me up on Facebook.
All right, and you can find me on Twitter at TonyTJ7, YouTube, and on Instagram just at Tony Calkins. Thanks for tuning in. Also, we just finished a Batman parody, 1960. So if you're into superheroes, you should check that out. I'm playing Batman. He's playing Robin, and he's playing Chief O'Hara. If you really know the 60s Batman, you'll know who Chief O'Hara is.
He's a fun time.
Yeah. More importantly, you'll just know how crazy the 60s Batman is. We just took it, put it in a modern spin. You can either click right down here on this little bubble thing, or if you're on a mobile device, the link is in the description below. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. We're going to be trying to get better at these reviews and add some different people. We're going to be posting a lot of content, comedy videos.
Watch it.
Yeah.
And watch the original one too. It's funny.
Oh yeah, the original Batman. We should review that.
That's a great movie.
We will. All right. Goodbye.
On the roof!